Hi guys, K-Movie Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to explain a movie called The Silenced. The movie tells the story of a Japanese girls-only boarding school in Korea. At that time, Korea was under Japanese occupation, so many schools were controlled by the Japanese government, and everyone must have a Japanese name. This story begins with a girl named Cha Ju-ran, with Japanese name Shizuko. Shizuko is a girl with a disease inherited from her biological mother. Fearing the disease, her stepmother sent her to a girls' boarding school located far from the city. This girls' boarding school is called Gyeongsang. When Shizuko first arrived in a luxury car, all the other girls were surprised by this beautiful new student. In this school, all the girls have a disease. This school offers healing for them. On first arrival, Shizuko was greeted by the principal. But a moment later, she got unpleasant treatment from the counselor. It is because she wants to keep her diary, while the rules say students shall not keep a diary. Shizuko's story while at the boarding school continues. She was greeted by a woman named Han Yun-deok, with Japanese name Kazue. She was treated well by Kazue by helping her to adapt to the boarding school. Afterwards, she also became friends with a girl named Kira. Kira tells Shizuko, if she does well at the boarding school, she will get more points and has a chance to be sent to Tokyo. However, not all the girls here welcome Shizuko. This is Yuka. She doesn't like Shizuko and always bullies her. Due to her poor health, Shizuko often coughs up blood. She is then prescribed an injection of medicine by the principal. The principal says that if she is getting better and is the most outstanding student, she will be sent to Tokyo. Shizuko then meets Kira. Kira told her that there was another girl called Shizuko before. The previous Shizuko used to be best friends with Kazue and Yuka, but her health got worse and she went home. After that, Kazue brings Shizuko to a secret basement. Kazue then gives her a secret diary, which belonged to the previous Shizuko. The next day, the students attend PE class. They take turns doing the long jump. When it came to Shizuko's turn, she couldn't jump, and coughed instead. She was then given another injection. Apart from injection, they are also given strange pills and foods. During lunch, Shizuko asks Kira about the previous Shizuko. Unexpectedly, Kira behaves strangely and attacks her. Kira almost choked her to death and then convulsed. After that, Shizuko is taken to the infirmary for treatment. But then Kira walks in and talks to Shizuko like nothing happened. She doesn't seem to remember what happened earlier. When drying clothes, Shizuko asks Kazue, what's behind the forest beside the boarding school? Kazue said that no one knows, but she heard there is an ocean. So they are sneaking out of the school together into the forest to have a look. There, they find a lake. Then Shizuko noticed that her cough wasn't bleeding anymore. They are so happy, and playing until they get wet. Shizuko is glad as she thinks that the treatment is working. In the PE class, Shizuko, who previously couldn't jump, was now able to jump well. All her friends give applause. She was very proud of her achievement. The next day, when they're all getting dressed, Shizuko finds a bloody bird in her locker. Turns out it was Yuka who did it. She didn't like Shizuko, who was too confident. During lunch, Shizuko retaliates against her bullying by putting the bloody bird she found in her locker on Yuka's food. Shizuko is now in the room alone, trying to read Shizuko's previous diary. But something falls. When she tried to take it, a hand appeared from under the bed. She looks under the bed. She is very surprised when she sees a girl full of slime all over her body. Then Shizuko runs away. After that, they found that a girl disappeared leaving all his belongings. But then the principal explains that girl was picked up and went home in the morning due to her health condition. Shizuko suspected that the slimy girl she saw earlier was that girl. She then tells Kazue about it. But Kazue gets angry and says that Shizuko was just hallucinating. The next morning, Shizuko got another injection. Kira then calls Shizuko and points out something. She sees something strange under the stairs. It turns out that it is that girl she had previously seen in the bedroom. She is very shocked and trying to run away. But behind her, Kira was choking herself. With fear, Shizuko seeks help and meets the counselor. But she didn't believe Shizuko. The principal says that she is just oversensitive, and told her that Kira just transferred to another school this morning. During the day, she tries to long jump and finds that she could pass the sandbox. Shizuko, who originally couldn't jump, is now greatly improved. Is it because of the medicine she received? Kazue becomes worried about her health, and tells her that the previous Shizuko also went through the same things before disappearing. Next day, the principal tells the class that Shizuko will be sent to Tokyo. Kazue, who really wants to go to Tokyo, becomes sad and runs out of the classroom. Suddenly, Yuka attacks Shizuko, who wants to chase Kazue. However, she attacks Yuka back and chokes her almost to death. Kazue, who sees that, becomes angry and says Shizuko had turned into a horrible person. After things calm down, Kazue meets Shizuko and tells her a surprising fact. It turns out that she actually saw the previous Shizuko turn into a scary creature. She then shows Shizuko a secret passage to the principal's office. While trying to search the room, the principal comes with a Japanese soldier. From here, they overhears the fact that all the girls in this boarding school were guinea pigs of the Japanese army to turn humans into superhumans. After that, they also found documents about the experiments, including the unusual drugs and injections given to them. Suddenly, they hear a scream from outside the boarding school. Yuka is up in the tree trying to suicide. Everyone tries to get her down, but she jumps. Taking advantage of the situation, Shizuko and Kazue then run away. After running far, they find a Japanese military base. They try to hide, but a soldier finds them. He hits them straight away. They try to run away, but the soldier manages to shoot Shizuko in the leg. Kazue then whispers something to Shizuko, and then runs away. The soldier brings Shizuko back to the boarding school. The principal immediately takes her to the laboratory. She is given a hazardous gas for further experiments. But unexpectedly Kazue has sneaked back in and steals a gun from the principal's office. She then tried to save Shizuko. Surprised, she found that all this time the missing student was frozen in the tube. While looking at them, she is suddenly attacked by the Japanese soldier and beaten until she faints. The scene moves to the principal's office. The soldier is talking to the principal. He tells her that her job was done. From now on, the Japanese army will take over the school. The principal doesn't accept that and threatens him. But the Japanese soldiers immediately rushed into the room. With the counselor who then slaps her. On the other hand, Kazue was in the tube asking for help because the water will soon fill the tube. After some time, Shizuko finally wakes up. But it is too late. Kazue was already in a tube full of water. Seeing that, she then goes on a rampage and attacks the Japanese soldiers and the principal. Shizuko immediately killed the entire Japanese army. On the other side, the counselor is checking up on the other students. She sees all the girls are sewing. Sensing the danger, she tried to run away. But she is caught and ganged up by all the students. The principal, who is trying to find help, was caught by Shizuko. She asks why the principal did all of this. The principal then shoots her, but hits the tube containing Kazue. Seeing Kazue who has died, she immediately attacks the principal and throws her until she is stabbed right in her heart. This is how the tragic end of the girls' boarding school experimenting on humans. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.